NASCAR is testing the short track package again, and why this one is the biggest test they've done yet and holds the most consequences. Let's get into it. Coming up next. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. All right, got a clip from the Dale Jr. download where he talks about this upcoming test being the most important that there is. Just a side note, this test is actually going to happen at Richmond. It came out today that this is going to be moved to Richmond because of the threat of weather in the area at New Hampshire. He says New Hampshire in this clip, but that's because this was before this information came out. So they're actually moving it to after the Richmond race. So all right, let's get into the clip.
We're going to New Hampshire this weekend to race, but that might not be the most important days of the week for New Hampshire.
Okay. What is
Monday and Tuesday, a handful of drivers are staying back after the Cup Series race is over, and they're going to test a new short track package.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
And so I even sent out a tweet. I think William Byron, Ryan Preece, Christopher Bell, a couple other guys are going to be testing this package together. It's about 6. And I said, hey, the future of short track racing in big league stock cars is on y'all's shoulders.
Monday. Yeah.
If y'all don't come out of here with an answer, we're screwed. We are. So no matter what they find, even if they find what they believe to be the holy grail, right? The answer to short track racing with the next gen car, even if they find it, Mike, the parts and pieces that are made by the single suppliers will not be made and developed in enough bulk to be able to give to all the teams until next year.
That's right.
Even if it's the right they can't bolt it on every car at Martinsville this year because they can't make enough to provide for everybody in the series.
Okay, so you see there that, William Byron, Eric Jones, Christopher Bell, some other drivers like that are going to stay back and do this race, and Dale Jr. has basically told them that this is the biggest moment in the sport in a long time, because it's going to take so long, even if they hit it and get it right here, because this actually exposes the biggest weakness, in my opinion, of this next gen car, and that is the single source parts. Back in the day, teams had their own dedicated fab guy, or if they're big enough, their own dedicated fabrication shop. So this would have been knocked out in a week or two with those fab teams in-house once NASCAR approved the configuration of the part. But now the part has to be, even if it works, and that's a big if, and we'll get to what part they're testing here in just a minute, but even if it works, it has to go get approved by NASCAR. Then NASCAR has to send whatever those dimensions are to the single source manufacturer. Then that manufacturer has to make 40 or probably 80 parts so that each team has 2 for each car. So that is just a much longer process than each individual team doing their own part to a spec sheet or regulation sheet. So just a big, huge difference in the way things used to be done and the way things are done now, and that is why the progress of getting things changed. We saw Atlanta was the first race with the configuration changes for safety on the new car. See how long that took for that to happen? So it moves at a snail's pace now, whereas back in the day, they could get things fixed and figured out much quicker. That, of course, was looking on the bright side. That's if they get it fixed. If they don't get it fixed, they're going to have to keep testing and things like that. And we're going to be basically screwed, in his words, said screwed until 2025. So 2024 would just be another throwaway year for the short track package. And that's why he said that this test right here is so important, because that'll be basically 2 straight years or 3 straight years of the short tracks just being absolute garbage, because this new car just does not race well on short tracks. And of course, short tracks being important because that's what the sport is built on. If you go to your local Saturday night, Friday night, sometimes Sunday shows, that's what the sport was built on, the local short tracks. So they should take precedence, in my opinion, when they're not doing well. So hopefully they do get it figured out here. Now let's get on to what they're actually testing. What they're testing is called a reverse splitter. So right now we've got the regular splitter, and you've seen that guys are always looking for clean air no matter what racetrack it is, but on short tracks as well, they're looking for clean air. Because when the leader has clean air, he has maximum downforce. Well, a reverse splitter is going to do the actual opposite of that. It's going to create lift on the front end of the car. Now, where this would be dangerous at a 1.5 or a super speedway, because you don't want lifts at higher speeds, because lift that's what an airplane does. It lifts and takes off, right? So you don't want that on a bigger track, but on a shorter track, you can get away with it, and it will work here, and it'll actually be to a detriment to the leader. So, and Dale Jr. in that clips, make sure you go and check that out at the Dirty Mo YouTube page or whatever. But he does say in there that the drivers need to come in here with the right mindset. They don't need to come in here and say, oh, this sucks. They need to be thinking about it completely different, because this needs to be what puts on the best racing, not what makes your car feel the best. It's a different type of test, and he said the drivers need to be in there with that mindset, with that mentality. But if this works, if this reverse splitter works, it basically, when you're in front of in the front of the pack, when you're the leader and you've got clean air, it would actually be at a detriment to you, because the cars behind you or whatever would not have that, because the cars behind you, it'll create downforce when you're actually behind the car. So it's basically just Earth 2, opposite world, right? So hopefully this works, and that is what they're testing at Richmond, not New Hampshire. So, all right, let me know down in the comments what you think about this one, because I am going to be interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. If this is your first time to the channel, I would appreciate your subscription. If you're already subscribed, you know I appreciate you guys as well. If you want to help out the page here, I got the merch link down below. And other than that, have a good Friday. Thanks for your time. Peace.